So what do you think? Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. What do you think?
Videoing?
Yeah. Did we have a visitor or not?
Montana Bigfoot activity in Kootenai Forest with Sasquatch evidence documented. DC writes RMSO. I have copied and pasted my incident. I have pictures available also. September 2nd through the 4th, 2024. My brother-in-law Bill and I went camping on a trip in the northeastern part of the Kootenai National Forest, close to Rekka, Montana, and the Canadian border. We were camping at Weasel Cabin beside Otter Creek off Frozen Lake Road. He provides the coordinates. Coordinates computed after returning home and may be a little off. It was the second day of camping, Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024. We were exploring around the campsite and came across a footprint just beside the creek that ran beside our campsite. We discussed what it was, jokingly. We said Sasquatch. Unfortunately, I did not put my foot beside it in the attached pictures. I wear a size 13, and it was about the same size as my boot, maybe a little bigger, but you could definitely see toes in the print. We laughed, decided it was either a young squatch or a bear double step. We hiked around the area and found another possible partial print on a hill, just in front of a fallen tree, but did not get any pictures. We noticed toes in that print also. During a hike further away from our campsite, we followed an abandoned overgrown trail, and I noticed several broken branches about shoulder level. I'm 6 foot 2 inches, and I thought it was odd, but thought no more of it. Between 8 and 9 p.m., something either landed on top or was thrown against Weasel Cabin with a loud impact. We investigated but found nothing. In honesty, I thought nothing of it other than weird. Sasquatch activity did not enter my mind. Now definitely I believe it was a Sasquatch trying to warn us away. Later that night at approximately 10 p.m., Bill and I were sitting around the campfire talking. During the conversation, I noticed a few whoops to the west of us, coming from the vicinity of the forest we hiked earlier. There is nothing but thick, uninhabited forest to our west for miles. I motioned for Bill to be quiet, and we began to hear whoop, whoop, a short pause and then another whoop, a slightly higher tone. This pattern of whoops went on for several minutes. I jokingly made a couple of whoops of my own in response. The whoops continued for about 3 more sets. Then I heard a very low, deep rumbling, boo, boo, like an owl, but in hearing owl sounds in the past, I was certain it was not an owl making the sound. Bill did not hear it. Whatever made this set of woos was definitely large. After the double woo, everything went quiet. Both Bill and I are avid outdoorsmen, spending several years in the forests, hunting, camping, hiking, very familiar with the animals and animal sounds in the area. I am retired military, where I specialized in long-range surveillance and reconnaissance, and I am also a former police officer. Bill is a former police officer, so we both are trained in observation and noticing details. We sat there trying to figure out what we were hearing. At first, we thought the initial whoops was a dog in the distance, but it was quickly ruled out. Then we thought possibly an owl. But both of us have heard them before, and this did not sound like an owl at all. Definitely not a bear, moose, deer, elk, nor a mountain lion, because we've seen and know what each of them sound like in the wild. Around midnight, we turned in for the night. I laid there thinking about the whoops, and it dawned on me that the tone of the whoops sounded like it would have come from a female woman creature. The deeper toned set of whoops sounded indicative of a large male man-like creature. There was nothing to indicate any human was beyond where we were. The road dead-ended shortly past our location, and no one had driven or walked by us. There is nothing but empty national forest beyond where we were for miles. The next morning, Wednesday, we broke camp. While we were packing up, Bill stated before I woke up he heard the whoops a few times coming from the opposite direction from the night before, but then nothing. We departed without further incident. Later that evening, while watching Expedition Bigfoot, One of the investigators recorded the very sound of the deep, low whoos, like I had heard during our trip, on his parabolic microphone. It was chilling. I've always believed in the possibility of Sasquatch, but need definite proof to be a believer. After discussion and eliminating all possible explanations, Bill and I have come to the conclusion that what we heard could have been nothing other than a couple of Sasquatch communicating and Sasquatch activity. Nothing else makes sense. On the 8th of September 2024, went back to the location, took pictures of the surrounding area, relocated the print, took measurements and additional pictures. The length was 13 inches and the width was 6 inches. RMSO responds, "We have been through Eureka, Montana on a few occasions and have also done some hiking in the Kootenai National Forest from Eureka to Libby to Troy. It's an amazing area. No wonder there are many Bigfoot sighting reports from around there. As a matter of fact, we received some photos of Bigfoot tracks found in the snow on a family's property near Troy, Montana last year. Thank you for doing a great job documenting everything you saw and heard. The video shows some of the toes very well, and the print seems massive for being 13 inches long when you include the width, that's easily 2 inches wider than most men's boots." DC continues, "I appreciate the compliment. I just found it fascinating once it really registered what was going on. I have always been interested in Sasquatch, and as indicated in the report, made several jokes referring to Squatch during the encounter. It just seemed unreal or unbelievable as it unfolded again. A few moments for it to hit me as of what was happening."
So what do you think? Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. What do you think?
Videoing?
Yeah. Did we have a visitor or not?
Bigfoot tracked on a mountain near Troy, Montana. John D. writes RMSO, "My good friend that lives in Troy, Montana took these pictures on her property yesterday. The boot size is her husband's 9.5 for comparison. Just wondering what you guys think." RMSO responds, "They look Bigfoot shaped, and the impression in the snow had time to freeze, it appears, before they found them. Has your friends or anyone you know that lives nearby ever see a Bigfoot in that area recently or in the past?" John D. continues, "Not that I know of, but there have been sightings around that area that I heard before. I think you guys were up in the area a few years ago. It's located between Yak and Libby on Highway 2. They live on top of a mountain with neighbors below. If she is willing, do you want me to have her contact you?" RMSO continues, "Yes, please. Have her email us at rmsobigfoot@gmail.com.